Welcome to part 2, ni, of my top 20 Mario tracks of all time. In part 1 we had numbers 20 to 11, and in this part we'll have 10 to 1. So if you haven't checked out that first part yet, go do that like now, and then come back and we'll get into it. Without further ado, here we go. I love underwater themes. I think everyone does. This is a great one I heard while replaying Sunshine recently. It isn't one I really remember from my childhood for whatever reason. I think it might be because of the shifting time, which makes it a bit hard to remember, but I love that part of it. It's like a jollier version of the Super Mario 64 underwater music. Kind of like 64's theme mixed with some tropical vibes. This is like a nautical jam. It's kind of like a rock and roll counterpart to Dolphin Shoals. The electric guitar and winds go so well together, it's like a perfect mix for the cart harbor combo of this course. I love this track, but I never understood why the piano was so plucky sounding. That always bothered me, but I guess it also adds this quirkiness that I wouldn't want to be without, and it does go well with the later section. I guess the Galaxy musicians know better than me after all. On this board in Mario Party, you're walking on clouds in this beautiful skyland. This is the perfect music for this. Everything feels so effortless and nice and soothing. I feel like I can walk on clouds just listening to it. I know you'd fall right through them, but like, have you ever been on a plane and looked outside and like, wouldn't it be cool to just bounce on those clouds? They're so fluffy and nice. I mean, don't, it's a trap and you'll fall, but it's nice to imagine. Sorry, I guess we're a bit off topic now. Moving right along. This has such a soothing melody, but the surrounding instrumentation prevents it from being wimpy. After all, you're about to play Mario Tennis, the OG version. No super shots or motion controls or any of that nonsense. Just straight up Mario Tennis. No kids allowed. Except for 7-year-old me. Super Mario Galaxy 2 is very similar to the first game in many ways, but it bumped so many aspects of the original up to the next level. That's how I feel about this track compared to similar ones from the first game. There's just a bit more to digest here, but without it sounding convoluted or losing that Galaxy feel. Even though the plot of this game is basically just Mario saves Peach for the 1000th time, this track makes me feel a bit more like the hero of a story than tracks from previous Mario games have. I said earlier how much I love underwater themes, and this one is my favorite of any video game. Or tied with the one from Donkey Kong Country, that one's good too. That reverberation you hear does so much for this track, and it's hardly even noticeable. This track taught me many lessons about subtleties in music, and how simple isn't always simple to implement.
Here we go, off the rail.
This is one of those childish songs that some middle school tough guy that hit puberty a little earlier than you might make fun of you for listening to. Huh, you still play Mario? Look at me, I play Grand Theft Auto, my dad had to buy it for me, but look, I'm still cool. But don't listen to that kid. This is a jam. I remember seeing the first Odyssey trailer and getting so pumped about the city environment. They actually made a realistic environment work with Mario. And this song is the musical representation of that. When you could toss a Donkey Kong reference in the background of a swinging tune like this, you got it all figured out.
Jump up, don't be scared. Jump up and your cares will soar away.
Yoshi's Island is technically Super Mario World 2, so don't give me the whole, this is a Yoshi game, not a Mario game spiel. I spoke earlier about limitations, and they really can result in the best music, or art in general. Two simple music box lines combined to make this beautiful background to the story of Yoshi's Island, which is another of the rare Mario games that makes you feel stuff. And don't get me started on how it slows down at the end. Gets me every time. Again, I try to remove nostalgia when I make these lists, but with this being a childlike tune, and being from my childhood, this one just smacks you in the face and beats you to death with nostalgia. And I'm okay with it.
Do the Mario swing your arms from side to side.
Okay, enough. All of the Rainbow Road themes are great, but this one is my favorite, and my favorite Mario track of all time. If you've only ever heard this on your dumb-sounding CRTV from the 90s, give it another listen on a decent sound system. You'll hear some really cool panning effects, which are so effective with the shimmering colors this track hits you with, and the melody just reaches so high without feeling overbearing at all. And it just feels like the Rainbow Road track to me. I love when other games use this as a basis for a new Rainbow Road track, but this one takes it for me. I just can't picture Mario Kart 64 even being the same game without this track to greet you at the end of it all. So, how much do you disagree with my list? It's the internet. I know you disagree. Let me know in the comments. I'm sure there are plenty of tracks that I kind of glossed over and didn't include in this. I know there are no Paper Mario tracks in there, someone's gonna yell at me about that. But there are so many tracks in this franchise. These are the 20 that I'm feeling right now, and maybe that'll change sometime in the future. I hope I brought up a track that maybe you hadn't really listened to in a long time, or maybe you've never heard before that might have piqued your interest. Anyway, thanks for watching, and I'll catch you next time.